Hey there, welcome to Main Street Living. I am Cheryl Nelson.
Hey, I'm Quincy Carr.
And I'm Danielle Alvari.
Ladies, glad to see y'all again. Cheryl, you look like you have something new. I like your spectacles that you're showing off today.
Thank you. It's something that I hated wearing as a kid because I was called Four Eyes and all the different things that go with that. But I'm learning to embrace it a little bit, not necessarily wearing them by choice. You got to love it when you have a little eye issue. And the eye doctor says no contacts until it clears up. So
yeah, well, it's happening to me too. Like I have to wear glasses too, but mine may be because I'm getting older. I don't know. Things are getting more blurry for me now. So
that's
I have
good.
Well, speaking of four eyes, or even more than four eyes, I know that we're having some bugs going on across the country right now. What is going on, Cheryl? Yes, be scared.
Okay. Danielle, oh my gosh, Quincy. So you've heard about the cicadas, right? Brood number 10, the cicadas. Oh my goodness. So I was just on a trip and my husband and I drove up from coastal Virginia, up through the mountains of Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, up toward the Cleveland area. And oh my gosh, I found brood 10 of the cicadas. So they're the ones that only emerge every 17 years. I took some really creepy video. We stopped in Winchester, Virginia, and you could hear them while you were driving. I mean, you would hear the sound. And you could hear it clearly in the video. It was just out of control. Millions of cicadas there. And some parts along the trip, they were flying at the windshield, almost like you would see birds flying, except they were like, and they were huge. And I'm going, oh no, why are they doing this? Some of them went just over the car, but it was like something out of a horror movie. Yeah. And these cicadas, so we stopped and looked at them up close. That's where I took the video. It was kind of cool to see. I mean, and they've been underground for 17 years as little guys there, and they would live off of the sap from trees. And then they would emerge and they'd be, oh, now I can go out and do things. And of course they would mate. And then shortly after mating, they would die. And then all the little eggs, all the little babies, they go back, they hatch, they go back into the ground. And then the process repeats for brood 10, 17 years later. And guys, the states that they're in, I mentioned a few of them. They're also in Delaware, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, Tennessee, and the states that I mentioned. So there you go.
They are everywhere. And are you talking about those big oversized grasshopper fly looking
huge. And I've got a picture that I took. My husband picked one up and put him on his finger. They've got red eyes, as you can see. And you can pick them up. They don't care. It's very, very interesting.
They do care.
I'm glad they don't care. I care.
If you can see our faces, me and Danielle, like as you were talking about, like, really?
But anyway, guys, we've got a fun show coming up today. And you know I love the environment. So we're talking about two of my favorite things, one being climate change, the other being cats.
That's right. And we're also checking in with some good people feeding San Diego.
But first in San Diego, the art is alive. You don't want to miss this. Coming up on Main Street Living.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. As the country begins to open back up, one thing many of us are looking forward to is getting back into our favorite museums.
But it's been really nice to be able to enjoy the outdoors as well. So what better way to celebrate spring than with the art of Mother Nature, flowers, alongside classic works of art. The San Diego Museum of Art is doing just that with their much anticipated annual exhibit of Art Alive. Here to talk to us about it, we have Kate Merena with the San Diego Museum of Art. Kate, thanks so much for joining us on Main Street Living.
Thanks so much for having me. Glad to be here. Hello.
So I have to know, how did Art Alive come to life?
So Art Alive started in 1982, so it's our 40th anniversary year. We're really excited about that milestone. It is our signature annual fundraiser supporting education, outreach programs, and special exhibitions. It brings together nearly 100 floral designers creating interpretations of famous works of art throughout the museum. And it's a weekend-long event, and it's coming up June 18th to 20th.
All right. Well, Keith, you know, they say that the 40 is the new 30, right? So this is the 40th anniversary of Art Alive coming up this week. So what are you guys doing to celebrate this milestone?
We are, in addition to our floral exhibition, which has become a San Diego tradition, we are taking over the Plaza de Panama with the Open Air Floral Affair, and we are adding virtual programming as well. In addition, we're opening 2 new major exhibitions during Art Alive. We're bringing masterpieces of European art from the Bemberg Foundation, as well as these beautiful colored pencil drawings from contemporary Spanish artist Ana de Alvear, both to the U.S. for the first time. And those 2 exhibitions will open during Art Alive, and they will run through September.
Oh, nice, nice.
So, Kate, you mentioned Open Air Floral Affair. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. We are so excited about this new offering. The Open Air Floral Affair this year will take over the Plaza de Panama. It is an outdoor experience for all ages, and it will happen alongside the floral exhibition. It will feature more floral interpretations, art installations, delicious food and beverages from San Diego's top restaurants, as well as our family-friendly garden of activities where families and children can create together.
Nice, nice. Now, all of this definitely sounds amazing. Certainly amazing way to experience the museum, of course. Now, folks who are really making the art come alive are the floral designers. So let's bring in floral artist Beth O'Reilly, who's designing the main attraction known as the Rotunda. How you doing there, Beth?
Oh, I am so excited to be here with you guys, and I'm excited about this event. As you can see, we have some really fun stuff planned for anybody who's attending, both virtually and in person, and some gorgeous blooms from some of the best farms around the world.
Nice. Well, I love your background, and you're designing the Rotunda exhibit, of course. Now, it's called the Botanical Graffiti. Is that correct?
Correct, and I wonder why. Can you guys get an idea of where that name might have come from? You know, it's bright, colorful plumes, both natural flowers and painted and tinted. And I think it really is going to imbibe the exhibition and the modern feel, and also just, you know, a lightheartedness of getting back into our most beloved institutions after we've kind of had, you know, this long downtime. So I'm really excited. Flowers are a great way to heal, and they're also a wonderful thing to immerse yourself in.
I believe it.
So, Beth, you have a lot going on there with you right now. Obviously, kind of a sample of your work. What typically goes into creating something like this?
Well, we have over 14,000 stems. We have about 10 sponsors that are sponsoring product, like I said, from all over the world. I also have a team of 20 wonderful volunteer A-team design team coming in from all over the country to help get this going. We start putting this installation together. It'll be a 3 to 4 day process. And part of what I'm really passionate about is not just the exhibit that we're going to display for the public to see, but it's also about community and building that community. Our floral industry has been hit really hard by COVID, and this is a time for us to come together and really show people how flowers can change lives.
I like that, how flowers are changing lives. And now, you know, Danielle is in Las Vegas. I'm in Virginia. Kate, are you offering any virtual things this year for the folks who are not in San Diego?
Yes, absolutely. Art Alive 2021 will feature virtual programming. We have virtual packages available that include a 360-degree virtual tour of the floral exhibition itself, a live stream from the Rotunda featuring Beth's amazing design, as well as online workshops.
Oh, cool, cool.
Now, having that virtual option, obviously, was this inspired by how everything was shut down last year? Have you guys had this available before? And do you plan on continuing it in the future?
So we did institute it for the first time last year, in part as a response to COVID. We had to cancel our event last year, and it was heartbreaking for everyone. So it is something we wanted to continue again this year, knowing a lot of people won't be able to be here in person, but it is something we intend to continue into the future as well.
Got you. And what kind of flowers do you guys use?
So we're using beautiful flowers. We've got roses and baby's breath and limonium, beautiful palms and tinted foliages from Fern Trust. We have some really interesting pieces that are handmade as well. You can see these wonderful garlands are handmade by an artist here in Austin, Texas. So it's really going to be a collaboration of both spirit and flowers and art. We really have some exciting things to share.
Wow, Beth, now I'm in Austin, Texas. native. So now I'm smiling from ear to ear. Those flowers came from Austin, Texas, or is there a specific a group or someone in Austin, Texas that you do work with?
So I'm here with my friends at the Bill Doran Company. And we're in Houston, Texas. We're also in Austin, Texas, the Bill Doran Company is. So they have helped sponsor some of these things. I have my friend here, Dina Session. Hello. Dina is actually part of the Bill Doran team. And she is coming to help install it as well. So yeah, we have our Texas family coming to support.
Yeah.
You guys are fading into the flowers there. You're becoming the artwork.
So. We're not really quite sure where to stand, but that's how it'll feel when people are in the Rotunda. They're just going to be immersed in this wonderful, colorful world of botanical graffiti.
Oh yeah.
So the flower arrangements, they mimic the artwork, is that correct?
Yes, so we have nearly 100 floral designers who are coming in, and they each choose which artwork they want to interpret, and so the design that they create is actually an interpretation of that work of art.
Oh wow! Well, we certainly appreciate you all being on the show today. Where can the viewers get more information, Kate?
Or tickets for in person?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Time tickets and virtual packages are both available on our website right now at sdmart.org/artalive2021, or people can call the Art Alive hotline as well. That's 619-696-1999. And some tickets will be available at the door throughout the weekend as well.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Beth and Kate, for being a part of the show, and also the special guest that wandered in.
We always like
We're
my
ready
friends
for you,
on Main
San
Street.
Diego. We're coming.
Thanks so much for having us today.
Thank you. Well, Danielle, there you have it. Art in the form of Mother Nature and floral designs. These are definitely pleasing to the eyes. And when we come back, maybe we'll have something pleasing to your ears. Okay? Don't go away.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Quincy, Cheryl, it was so cool in our last time to see how they were able to pivot and make a virtual event available to people as well. A lot of us have had to do that in the last year.
I know. I love the creativity there. That was so beautiful. And art organizations around the globe showcase their creativity through the various ways that they try to inspire and connect with their fans. The Las Vegas Philharmonic was no exception. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Donato Cabrera, the music director of the Las Vegas Philharmonic. What does it mean to be an orchestra in the 21st century? Well, that's a question, I think, especially now after this long hiatus of not being able to perform with people. That's a question that all the arts are attempting to answer. We now live in a world where we are constantly and frighteningly available, and I think that what we do now, going into the future, in terms of how we interact with our constituents, our donors, our fans, the lovers of music, we have to be far more engaged with them online than we ever were in the past. There are many things that we have learned during the pandemic that we will certainly, and I will certainly, keep in place. And that is, from my point of view, especially the writing about music in my blog. I will certainly continue to do that for every concert. It won't be every day, but it will be for every concert that I conduct. Explaining in simple terms what this music is about, what they're going to hear, and why I chose the music in the first place. And then secondly, this idea of reaching out through interviews, online interviews, which I never had done before. And I host, of course, all of the pre-concert, I call them pre-concert chats. And they become very popular in Las Vegas. We have around 350 people come to the pre-concert, which happens an hour before the downbeat. And that interview series, which I started called Music Wise, was basically an extension of the pre-concert chat. And so I will definitely continue with with the online interview series, and I think that only enhances the concert experience. We have always been known for having a strong educational program, both for children and for adults. We have these youth education concerts where we reach almost 20,000 children a year. And it has been, since I became music director, very important to me that anyone that buys a ticket begin to receive knowledge about what they're going to hear, so that by the time they enter the concert hall, they will have a good idea of what they're about to hear and be able to enjoy it more.
Quincy, Danielle, it's so nice to see the music back, everybody supporting one another. And I just love orchestras. Did you guys know that I used to play the violin?
You did? Sure.
Yes, so I did, and it was a lot of fun.
Did it bring back a lot of good memories for you?
Well, let me just tell you this story. So when I used to play as a teenager, I had this beloved cat. Whenever I would play, she would climb up on my leg and bite my arm to stop me from moving the bow back and forth.
Oh.
So I guess I wasn't that good.
That cat ruined your career.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
okay. That's what
maybe
the
we
others
just
are
go
for.
watch then. I'll get
Yeah.
free tickets. You guys come to Vegas and visit me. We'll go.
Sounds like
That's-
a plan.
That's right. Well, you and the viewers, you can find more about what the Las Vegas Philharmonic has to offer in their upcoming season at lvphil.org. And from getting back to live entertainment to caring for our neighbors. Up next, there's a special group doing some good in San Diego. You don't want to miss that. Hey guys, welcome back to Main Street Living. Ladies, the pandemic has definitely touched us all, putting many people in situations they never dreamed they would be in. Of course, not knowing, like where they were going to get food for themselves or even their families.
I know, it's so scary. And a group in San Diego is helping families bridge the gap by bringing together the resources and kindness of the community. So please welcome Carissa Casares from Feeding San Diego. Thanks so much for joining us today on Main Street Living.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about Feeding San Diego. I know your mission sounds clear from your name, but you are different from a traditional food bank, aren't you?
Yes, we are, and we're very proud of that. And we're actually we refer to ourselves as a hunger relief organization versus a food bank, and that's because instead of bringing all the food to one central location, we work with a huge decentralized network of people and organizations to help get food out into the community. And we do that primarily by rescuing food. So we're working with big brands like Target and Costco and taking that food that just for whatever reason might not be able to be sold, whether it's surplus or slightly imperfect for the general consumer. And we are just redistributing that to people in need. So our partners go directly oftentimes to those stores in our community to pick up this food. And so our system is really decentralized. However, we're the hub, we're the connector, Feeding San Diego is, and that's why we talk about hunger relief in that way. And so our mission is really at the end of the day to connect every person facing hunger with nutritious meals by maximizing food rescue. So as much as possible, we're using that food rescue model.
Wow.
And I have to imagine that mission became a lot more difficult when the pandemic hit in 2020. You guys had to make a big adjustment in how you operate just based on the enormous need that rose out of that. How did you guys pivot?
Yeah, we've been talking about, if you're facing hunger during a pandemic, it's a crisis within a crisis. So we were all presented with this public health crisis, but people, who are facing hunger before, and even people who were newly experiencing hunger because of the economic downturn, because of the pandemic, it was just, a double hitter, So our organization, primarily we used to do farmers market style distributions, and we love to have people come up and be able to select, items that they might want. We want people to be able to choose their food in a dignified way. However, when the pandemic hit, we had to really pivot, and all of our distributions now are contactless and drive-through, which we've learned so much from doing this new method with our partners who, execute them, and then we execute our own food distribution. So we want our neighbors in need to be safe. And so we're still doing that method, but it was definitely a new learning curve of how to, figure out the flow of traffic and get a number of cars through a space to get them that food. We also did have to rely more on purchased food. We had to purchase so much more food to meet this demand and to supply more food to our partners. However, we're very proud that we still, since March 2020, we were still able to rescue over 70% of our food. Prior to that, it was over 90%. So there's just a small difference, but we did have to rely more on purchased food to get it out to people in need.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot to handle there. And Feeding San Diego was hosting the Together Tour all around San Diego County. So what are those events like?
Yeah, so this is a response, from our organization, a direct response to really have our own food distributions. Essentially, the way that decentralized network works that I told you guys about earlier is that we work a lot with our partners to host the distributions, but we saw some gaps, and we saw, hunger hotspots, and we wanted to do something bigger to really, affect all those facing hunger. So the Together Tour is a series of large-scale distributions, takes place around the county, and these serve upwards of 1,000 people, no less than probably 500 at a time. And we've worked with partners like Legoland and North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, Pechanga Arena, San Diego, and they allow us to just, get all of these cars through their parking lot. And there's, 3 different stations. There's a dry goods station, a produce, and there's a frozen meat protein. And we have amazing volunteers that help us set up. It's really organized. That's the feedback we get a lot from, people who are driving through, that it's very easy and organized. And, people can just drive right on through and get about 50 pounds of food placed in the car by our volunteers. Wow. And there's no requirements for them to come. These are open to anyone in need of food assistance.
And that's so great, because especially in a time of crisis, it's hard to ask for help. And I'm sure that there's a lot of more people that are experiencing food insecurity over the past year, maybe for the first time. Have you seen it grow in the last year?
Yeah, we have. We definitely are. On average, we're serving about 700,000 more meals per month, which is a big jump to serve hundreds of thousands more meals. We're seeing people still now in June. I know we're approaching reopening, but, I just spoke to a woman at one of our distributions last week, and she told me that, she had 2 jobs before the pandemic, and still now she's only been asked back to 1 and still very part-time. So, everyone's story is different, and we see headlines and we think, oh, things are getting better, but this has exacerbated socioeconomic, inequalities that just really make it difficult for people to have reliable income or afford the cost of living here in San Diego. So we always say asking for help isn't easy, but it's a brave thing to do. And we just want to be a source for anyone who, could use a helping hand.
Yeah, and that's true. I think for all issues, asking for help, no matter what you're dealing with or battling, and it's so important. And we've heard the phrase, we're all in this together, a lot over the past year. But is it your mission for all of us to care about our neighbors? How can our viewers help the mission?
Yes, I love this question, because we can't do it without our community. Our staff, is small but mighty, and we work hard every day, but we need our volunteers. We need our community rallying around us to help solve this problem. So I think, there are different ways to give. You can give your time in terms of volunteering. We have a lot of different volunteer opportunities. You can volunteer at a Together Tour distribution. It's great fun. You get to wear a safety vest and run around a parking lot, get your steps in, and just, make some great connections with other volunteers and, our neighbors in need that are driving through. We have amazing, quick conversations of thanks so much and like, have a great day. And, you can definitely start a day with that.
So Carissa, a lot of great information, obviously. Where can people find more information about the Together Tour, either to sign up for food or to donate or even to volunteer?
Yeah, our website, feedingsandiego.org, is a wonderful resource, whether you want to give help or get help. So I would send anyone who wants to learn more about our mission, how we work, our decentralized network, or get involved to head there.
And you are all doing such amazing work for the community. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you guys for shining a light on our mission.
All right, such great news. And we have more news coming up. This time we're talking about your water supply. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Danielle, Quincy, this next story is really important, especially to me, because as a meteorologist, I study climate change a lot. And there are a few things that are absolutely essential to our life on this planet. And one of them is water.
You are so correct, Cheryl. In fact, that's where the Central Arizona Project comes in, because they're teaming up with NASA to research how climate change is impacting our water supply. So let's take a closer look at it.
My name is Mahmoud, and I'm a senior policy analyst with the Central Arizona Project. Central Arizona Project itself is a 336-mile-long aqueduct that delivers water from the Colorado River, diverting just south of Lake Havasu, moving through central Arizona before it terminates south of the city of Tucson. In terms of what we're doing for our future water supply, we keep track of conditions of the Colorado River in the upper basin, where most of our supply is being generated. It's a snow-driven system. We need to know how the snowpack is doing. That translates to spring runoff. The water that's generated ends up in reservoirs that we also keep track of their condition. So in terms of short-term outlook, that's what we look at to determine the health of the system. In terms of long-term, we explore the impact of climate change on the basin itself. Well, the Colorado River is a significant renewable water supply for the state of Arizona. Almost greater than 80% of the state's population rely on that water supply. So that includes Phoenix, city of Tucson, and it provides water and helps support agricultural districts in Arizona and some of the largest agricultural districts down in Yuma, Arizona. And besides that, Native American communities also rely on this water supply, both along the river itself as well as Native communities within central Arizona. Well, rocket science, in a way, is used through a $1 million grant that NASA provided to Arizona State University to partner with Central Arizona Project to explore the full depth of and impact of climate change using NASA products and data. Specifically, the satellite data and remote sensing information that NASA provide help to allow us to use the most cutting-edge, most recent information to do the modeling and analysis required to explore the full depth of climate change impacts in the basin. There is a benefit to using this data right now because it can help inform policymakers about decisions they're making in the near future about water management. We're also engaging stakeholders from across the basin to rely on their input and expertise when it comes to identifying impacts to the specific water supply that they rely on out of the basin. And this includes water users from the other Colorado River Basin states as well as the federal government. Well, understanding the impact of climate change is important because more and more our analysis is showing us that we're expecting to have a hotter and drier future, and we need to understand how that impacts our water supply and our operations. But it's also important to you because it is your water, your future.
I love that there's so much research going on in this part of the world. Water is so important, and you can learn more about the Central Arizona Project and keep up with the latest findings at knowyourwaternews.org.
And stick with us because coming up, we're going to take a ride off into the sunset.
Welcome back to Main Street Living. Cheryl and Danielle, I have a question. Well, do you love horses? That's the question.
I do.
I love all animals. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I know that, Cheryl. But if you love horses and you love the wide open outdoors and in the desert, then we have an ideal adventure for you.
That's right. Miller Ranch in Scottsdale, Arizona breeds, raises, and trains Missouri Foxtrotters, which are amazing trail horses. You can saddle up on one of these exceptionally trained horses and ride off into the Sonoran Desert. Check this out.
The Foxtrotters, they're very, very, very good in the mountains. They're very good for trail riding. They're very sure-footed. And actually, that's the best horse what you can have on a trail. When you have on rough countries, that is where they're made for. And that is why we have Foxtrotters. My name is Lothar Rowe, and I'm the owner from the Miller Ranch. We're working a little different. We find the communication and we try to get this here in the little nut, that we're working with the brain with the horses. Not repeat. I said to get a communication, and that's a little different.
We start from the beginning with the leadership and the trust that the horse believes in you, and then we continually train him on our body skills. When you move your hip, that the horse move over. When you move your hip to the other side, that he moves over. That he stops when you ask him to stop. It's a lot of with leadership, desensitizing, and trust. You need to have the trust. It's like a relationship between two. We breed and train trail horses. That's our first goal. The playgrounds is to help him to train the horses on different environments and grounds to cover the ground. I cannot ride 45 horses every day. So we put him in the free walker, what is from Germany. It's the first one in Arizona, whatever been here, or actually in the States. And they cover around 140 miles a month. On this way, you always have your horses ready for trail rides. Miller Ranch is really unique because we have the desert right in front of the ranch, so you just need to cross over the dirt road, and then you have hours for riding in the desert. I also offer riding lessons, so you can get a riding lesson from me, learn everything from the beginning to the end, that you have your horse very nice and easy in the playgrounds, very nice and easy out in the desert. This is what we do here. Make people happy, and the horses as well. Well, the website, if somebody wants to see the horses here on Miller Ranch, you're welcome to look up at the website, give me a call, come out, see the stallions, the brood mares, the babies, the youngster. They are not shy about people. So if you want to get on a nice foxtrot and want to buy one, well, we have.
Oh man, guys, that takes me back to some family vacations. We used to love going horseback riding. I got to get back out there this summer.
Ooh, it's been so long. I don't even remember my experience riding a horse. So we should go. I got to try this again. Q?
Yeah.
I just have a horrible experience. I just rode a pony. I wanted to ride a horse and I ended up on the pony.
It's time to upgrade you.
Yeah. I mean,
and I would pay to see Cheryl on a horse, to be honest.
Wait, why? Why?
Just to get you out of that old car, honestly. We need a new mode of transportation.
There we go back to my car again.
I think the horse is more reliable. I'm just saying.
You guys. Okay, that's it. On that note, you can find out more about these incredible horses and trail rides in Arizona at miller-ranch.com. Coming up on Main Street Living, we are still talking about animals, but now we are calling all cat lovers. Yeah.
This is all you, Cheryl.
For you, and it's for me too. Stay with us.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. Quincy, Cheryl, sometimes we have segments on this show and they are just made for one of us. And this is one of those segments.
Yes, we've had a great show so far, but You guys know I've been waiting for this segment all day. So whether you are a cat lover like me or not, a cat show is something everyone should experience at least once. Take a look at these sweet and gorgeous kitties.
Would all short hair alders please come to ring 4?
Today we are here at the Fanciers Federation for their Winter Wonderland show. So it's an all breed and household pet show.
This show is hosted by the Ragdoll Fanciers Club, which is the breed club for CFF for the Ragdolls. And it's an all breed cat show, so any breed is welcome, as well as the household pets, which are unregistered cats.
The participants are going to go to 4 different rings today and be judged 4 separate times for overall points and titles. With the championship breeds, each cat has a standard that we go by, so we're comparing the cat to the written standard. I have done the championship cats, and those are all cats that are not been neutered or spayed, so they're whole cats, 8 months old or better. So I've seen an Abyssinian, Maine Coons, Persians, Ragdolls, and so far my best was the Abyssinian today. She is my best.
This is an Abyssinian. It's one of the oldest breeds of cat in the cat fancy. They're the natural athletes of the cat world. If you had a cat basketball team, I always say this, you'd want Abyssinians as your centers, or they're a lot of fun. They make you laugh. He's Sherry. He's a chonk, isn't he? He's a little chonk.
Every single breed has its own standard. Everything is broken down: eye shape, eye color, eye placement, ears, coat condition, coat color, bone structure, body length, muzzle structure, profiles. There's so much that goes into each different breed.
For instance, the Maine Coon is supposed to have a long rectangular body with large ears and large eyes and a square muzzle. So we compare all those things to the cat, and whichever one scores the highest, obviously, should be the best.
It's a 5 to 6 year process, the judges program. You spend a year following your advisor, and you would travel from show to show to show, sitting where our clerks sit to the right, and they would watch us managing the ring, how we handle different breeds, how we handle different cats. Then you move from trainee to probationary specialties, where you're given your own ring, and then you move to approved specialties, then you go into full all breed, and then you can go and judge into other associations 1 year after you've achieved your all breed license. Honestly, it was my husband's idea. I didn't even want any part of this cat business. I blame it all on him.
It's like a little family. We're all friends, we all respect each other, and we all have a great time together, and we learn all different things about everybody's cats, all the different breeds from each other.
Oh man, that really hit home for me at the start when the little phrase on the cage said "no love like cat love." That's
my gosh, right? I know. Super cute. Oh, come here, Adeline. Would you like a treat? Come here, baby.
She's got her buddy. Look at her. Hey, Adeline.
She's not cat show ready yet.
There she
Cheryl.
goes. All right.
A little disobedient.
Yeah. I love cats, but the cats at the cat show, they were so good, guys, and they were adorable, just like my kitties. I'll throw one more treat here, baby. There you go. Well, if there is a new career on the horizon for my kitties, well, I don't think that's going to happen. But you can see pictures of other kitties and champion felines at ragdollfanciersclub.org.
That's right. Well, we got more of Main Street Living coming up next. Hey, Adeline, I got a fish for you.
Here.
Welcome back into Main Street Living. As you can see, we're still trying to get Cheryl's cat a little bit more training before her show.
You know, she's trying. Here, baby. Oh, why? I know you're upset as you hear all the voices. She hears the voices coming out of the trees, and she's like, so confused.
I don't want to be on TV.
I know, but I don't know what to do to train her. Although I will say, guys, that when I give her food in the evening, I've got her trained, and I say, up, high five. And she goes, and gives me a double high five. So it's
whatever gives me
super
food, lady.
cute.
Yeah.
It's super cute. Yeah. She knows what to do. Come here. Would you like another one?
About high five. Like cats are some of the coolest animals, but they're also some of the sneakiest ones. So if you're an owner of a cat, you already know.
Oh yeah, she's super sneaky. Can we do it now? Up high five.
And it's hard to win a cat's
Give me a
affection.
high five. Good girl.
Aw.
Yeah. Okay. Now
Yes.
you can jump down. Yes.
It is hard to win a cat's affection, but you already, have our love in the viewers. You can catch us on our Cox Contour app at any time.
Definitely. And make sure you join us for new episodes of Main Street Living, 9 p.m. local time on Mondays. And we will take a stroll down Main Street, and we'll see you next time.